Alright, listen. There are very few times that I will turn on this camera and actually say to you all that I am really excited. But this is one of those times. I am stoked at what I found recently. I recently found Fraoch's Heather Ale here in the States. Now, before we get started, before we drink, I gotta tell the backstory behind this and why this is just such a big deal to me. This beer was originally brought to my attention by my good friend Ben from the UK, which, by the way, Ben, I'm sure you're going to be watching this. Thanks again for the recommendation for the show. He sent me a message over Facebook. He was talking about that I needed to try Fraoch's Heather Ale and other beer products from the Williams Brothers companies of Scotland. So now, I was automatically like, oh, of course, this sounds interesting. And I look it up on the internet, and turns out you can't have it shipped to America. Fuck. Can't have it shipped to America, and then I come to find out I go to one of my local restaurants just for a dinner, and in the corner of my eye, I see it. I see it over in the corner of my eye on a display, and I run up and I found it. And after having a long conversation with the manager of the store, they are the only people that sell anything from the Williams Brothers companies until you reach Richmond. And I think until you reach, I want to say Louisville, somewhere in Kentucky. Either way, alright, I'm going to really get into why this beer is just so, I'm so stoked to actually have this. Alright, time for backstory now. Fraoch's Heather Ale is actually made from a beer recipe that is over 4,000 years old. This was originally started in 2000 BC. It was an old recipe from 2000 BC. And it has been passed on from generation to generation for the past 4,000 years. And it just recently came into the hands of the Williams Brothers Brewing Company of Scotland. And yeah, they now make it to this day. Read this little back. I normally don't read the backs for beers, but I'm just so excited to have this, and I think y'all really need to understand the backstory to this as to why I'm just so stoked right now that I actually have this in my hands. Fraoch is Scotland's native ale. Heather Ale has been brewed in Scotland since 2000 BC, brewed using heather flowers and Scottish malts. It has a distinctive floral aroma, full malt character, and a dry wine-like finish. As one of the oldest styles of ale in the world, there are many legends and folklore surrounding it. So, I'm really, really excited to have this. But, unlike other Tanner tries, where we try the key drink and then we have a couple others, I have one other drink that I'm going to actually use as a teaser first. And that is Belhaven Scottish Ale. Now, I picked this up the same day I picked up this because I had a long, extensive conversation with the manager, and he told me if I liked Fraoch's Heather Ale, then I would like Belhaven Scottish Ale, which is the only other Scottish beer they had. He said it's really enjoyable, and if I really want to try real Scottish beers, then this is the one I'd have to go for. So, seeing as how that Fraoch Heather Ale was the real reason that I wanted to do this show, I thought, okay, I don't want to just do one, I want to do one more, so I picked up the Belhaven Scottish Ale, so I tried it first, and then we are going to jump on over to what we really came here for today. Can opener's not cooperating with me today, damn it. There we go. Smells really good, actually. Has a nice full body to it, if you will. Very hopsy. That is smooth. That is really smooth. This is really good, by the way. This one is actually, it's about the same for the Fraoch Heather Ale. From what I've seen, I don't see this around a lot. I've actually seen it a few other times, other than the store that I went to pick up the Fraoch Heather Ale. So it's a bit more marketable, and you can probably find it a little bit easier than you'll find the Fraoch or any of their other flavors from the Williams Brothers companies. But this is actually really good. I'm really enjoying this. It's very smooth. It's very it had a hop smell, but it's very malty. It's very good actually. I really, really enjoy this. So, all right, time for the big one. This time, I actually have a little bit of water here to cleanse my palate. Alright, here we go. Whew, so excited. I'm finally going to open one. Give it a try. Alright. It smells... is very different. It is very different from most beers that I've actually smelled. It's very flowery, which is from its heather flower origins. It smells very pungent, very pungent. So, oh yeah, I got my Hooters beer mug out for this one because only the classiest for this show. Alright. Well, as far as color goes, it's a bit darker than your American ales. It's a bit darker. Smell still has not changed. Still smells flowery. So let's give it a shot. Oh, that is good. That is delicious. Oh yeah, this is great stuff. Trying to put words together here. It doesn't taste like, I guess, the beer that I'm used to. Of course, growing up in America, I'm used to a lot of more of American-style beers. But it's not something I'm used to. It does have a very wine-like flavor to it. I mean, you have an aroma of flowers to start off with, and then as you drink it, it's very smooth. And I had to pop my finger there. Sorry. It's very smooth, and you have this nice little taste like you're drinking a white wine after you finish it. It is very good stuff. Oh, it's good. Funny side story. Whenever I was talking to the manager and I were having a conversation about the Heather Ale, and it turns out that there is this guy that comes into this restaurant every day, and he will only eat at the restaurant if they have a bottle of Fraoch's Heather Ale, because they don't normally have it in stock. For obvious reasons, like as I said, it's hard to actually get in the first place. But he only eats there whenever they have the Fraoch Heather Ale. If they do not have it, he just turns around and leaves. And I found that to be kind of a funny story. And I might be the same way too. This stuff is really good. By all means, if you get the chance, if you find it, if you see it in a store or in a restaurant or anywhere else, buy it. You will not regret it. Alright. Well, that is it for this episode of Tanner Tries, and I will see you next time.